without any sun. Lotus blossom don't cry without any sun. Lotus blossom don't cry.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Fuck Is Going On with Chris and Rob.
Rap.
I'm Chris. So, yeah, episode 2, The Fuck's Going On. Thanks for checking in. This is a podcast about nothing. We talk about current events, kinda, and we don't do any research. It's just all our opinion, because that's probably more important. So, recently, we left off yesterday talking about Hurricane Mike, and it turns out it did what hurricanes do.
Fucked some shit up.
It definitely fucked some shit up.
Schools, houses, a couple hospitals. Like I said, we didn't do any research. It's just what we're thinking.
Yeah, I saw
Typical.
on an article, and when I say that, I didn't read it. I saw like a thumbnail, and some beaches got leveled. There was definitely some destruction. So maybe we can like put up something in the comments of a little fundraiser. You could help the people out who were affected by the tragic hurricane. But as some people like to do, hurricane survivors, I would say, or hurricane avoiders. There may be other terms.
Trying to hide, yeah, I don't know.
I think they like to celebrate with a hurricane party. So, Rob and I are going to have a quick little hurricane party in honor of the victims and survivors of Hurricane Mike. So let's just get right into that.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
So, yeah, hurricane parties, I think, have been a tradition since the first time of hurricanes. I think, this is pure speculation.
Yeah, we're Massachusetts, we don't get this shit. Closest thing we got was what, Sandy?
We get some shit. Sandy really fucked up New York. New York was fucked from Sandy. We've gotten, I don't know, up in Massachusetts when it's a hurricane, it's like surf season.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, let's go surfing.
I've gone tubing right after one.
It's the only time they get swell up there, anyways. But, speaking of fucking
waves.
Speaking of fucking disasters, so I checked into the news again today. Again, I'm referring to thumbnails that I didn't read. But yeah, about that news, it's looking like Donald Trump wants to arrange another lunch with Mr. Kanye West, because he thinks it's going to help him gain more black votes. We're not going to get too political really ever on this podcast because we're pretty neutral guys. We don't want to argue with you guys in the comments. You don't want to argue with us because we're better at it. But we do want to talk about Kanye West. So lately, I mean, Kanye, a lot of people are saying Kanye's just going off the fucking rails.
He's always keeping it controversial, though. I mean, it's fucking Kanye. I mean, the shit that comes out of his mouth is equivalent to what comes out of our mouth sometimes. It's nonsense. It's nothing.
Yo, Kanye, you're welcome on the show anytime. I'd love to chat. We'll get you on the couch, bud. We'll take some bong hits. Shout out Kanye West. Come visit. Subscribe to our channel. But I don't know. Yeah, Kanye, like you said, it's kind of nothing new. He's always been spouting off. He's always been about that shock value, like when he went on TV. And it was like George Bush doesn't care about black people staring at the camera. That was pretty badass, by the way.
Yep,
that was right after Katrina there. So he's always been, had that shock value.
I feel like he likes to poke the bear.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe, who knows what his agents tell him? Like, it could be like a marketing ploy.
Do you think he's being told what to do, or do you think he comes up with these ideas by himself? Like, I think that he just does him. I feel like he doesn't. I mean, I'm sure he has like a stylist. He probably does have a PR guy. But
that says this will be good. Yeah, I mean.
But he's Kanye. Like, he's got to be his own PR guy. He's got to. Imagine Kanye having a conversation with a PR guy, and he's gonna be like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm not saying that." He's gonna be like,
I mean, to an extent, I think I agree. But who really does anything on their own completely anymore? You know what I mean? Like, you get a reference from somewhere. And, it sparks your ideas to either go super left, super right, or you're middle of the road,
Yeah, it's hard to be working with that many millions independently.
Right, and not to mention,
Yeah.
you don't want to tank your career overnight by
Right.
really pissing off the wrong person. That's like, oh, really? He's called out your title rep for who you produce your albums on,
Yeah.
just accidentally, just because they fit a profile, and then you're done. You're done, son.
He's unique though because he's the producer as well. But what is cool, I think Kanye's killing it in the fashion world right now, which is really tight. So even if he loses his fan base musically,
He'll be okay. He'll be all
he'll
right.
probably be okay. Yeezys are kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he is essentially a Kardashian nowadays. So,
dude, he's
money that's there is just unreal as it is. So,
he's definitely become a pop culture icon to say the least.
has he made an appearance on the Kardashians?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, your wife would
once.
know probably.
Nah,
I mean,
you don't even have cable, bro. That's why we fucking get high and do this shit.
Tuka.
What's up, Tuka?
Yeah.
Tuka Rask in the house, checking in. She's doing well today. She just got a new bag of dog food, so she's pretty pumped.
She's a little stoked off the Red Sox right now.
She's a little stoked on the Sox. She likes her fellow Bostonians to do well. She's a champion, so she respects other champions. Don't you?
Tell him. All right, well.
That's a good girl.
She's not a good talker. She's not a good talker. That's why we don't have her on here regularly.
Yeah, but she'll make her appearances. But yeah, Kanye's just been doing crazy shit. Did you see a couple days ago? So he was supposed to give some like speech at an art school, like at an art school campus. He fucking jumps up on the table and just starts screaming about leave Elon Musk alone. Like he went on this whole rant,
For
which is
weed?
true. No. It just the media right now. This is a whole other segue we can talk about, which is true. The media is just like think about it. Anytime you see something about Tesla on a thumbnail, it's like
Elon.
Tesla crashed and exploded, like caught on fire. Autopilot crashed this, and they don't get a lot of good press because it's easy to like make the bad press.
Is it
like
but
Tesla?
what's the age-old saying though? I mean, any press is good press. It doesn't matter. It's drawing attention to something. So
But-
when they figure it out, I mean,
to tie it back around to Kanye, so he's at this fucking what's supposed to be like, I don't know if it's a lecture or what he was doing at this art school, but he's just like on the table like, y'all need to leave Elon Musk alone, like, and these kids are just like, what? Like, excuse me? Like, he had a point, but I don't know why he presented it, where and how he did.
well, I think that goes back into Kanye was just being controversial. He just says something.
right,
you know,
it's just like, it just goes.
It just goes. It's something natural. It's how he feels, which is awesome. But there's no what's the substance behind it? He doesn't ever really voice that opinion very clearly until after the fact, after he's been ripped apart.
Yeah, that's true. He takes some dissecting.
So maybe it is a personal health issue. Maybe he's just fucking, in the rap industry, you got a hype man.
And I think
He's all those in one.
he's a one-man band for sure. I think what makes him such a character is that like you don't know what is like facets of his mental health versus what is like a well-calculated like PR
Decision,
move.
right.
Like
To get your standing actually heard and like, verified, basically that they're like, yeah, no, that's a legit statement. Like it has a lot of substance to it.
right.
But I feel like I think it's a mental health thing.
And on the other hand, I do believe mental health is certainly an aspect of it to like get him to like act how he acts, I believe. But I also think he's just like a really well calculated dude. Like he knows the shock value of what he's saying.
Method to the madness.
He's like an example of the no such thing as bad press.
right.
And he gets a lot of bad press. A lot of the stuff, like some of his slavery comments and stuff, are taken completely out of context. And if you actually watch the interviews, you could defend things that he said if you actually took the time to dissect it.
Snoke that shit.
But he's a man who needs to be dissected.
Absolutely. Do not take it at face value.
No.
Also, do not take what we say at face value. We are not
we're just like Kanye. If you haven't
We just
noticed.
spout it out, man. It's just.
He spouts it out. We spout it out. Whatever you get is what you get on that day from us. Today, this is what you fucking get.
What do you think if this lunch goes down? Like, you know, what do they talk about?
Oh man, what does Kanye West? Where you think they don't
Like, what does he want Trump to know, and or what does he want Trump to back?
What do they talk about? First, it starts with like a really awkward dap. I'm sure because Kanye wants to go in on the like "What up, bro" hug.
Yeah,
Trump is
but
trying
like
to-
it's an official thing, so you go with the handshake.
I bet Trump has
You have
like
to.
a super fucking like dead fish handshake, and,
Dead fish in it.
and Kanye wants like the bro daps or whatever.
Or do you think it's like the turkey thing going on? You
I
know,
don't-
the like, you know, Trump being disconnected. The high five was a
They
huge
just
thing for the
don't,
longest time,
yeah.
and it's all about the daps now. And you get the fucking turkey.
So, right,
Just learned about that recently, guys. By the way, too, what a turkey is. It happened to me actually on my birthday.
it's so basically right off the bat of this luncheon, there's potential for major awkwardness with the greeting alone.
Just the
Right.
greeting alone.
I think the conversation. I got this one from a thumbnail too. I read so many articles that I don't read. I read one that the thumbnail was saying that he wants to talk about maybe like prison reform or something. As a almost billionaire man who I believe doesn't have much of a criminal past.
Aren't they both billionaires? Is Kanye a billionaire at this point, or
I think
is he just under a
real.
billionaire?
I think he's real close to billionaire with the Yeezy stuff.
and I mean his net
His
worth,
music
but
for sure, but the Yeezy stuff is fueling his.
net worth coupling. I mean, with Kim, he's
Yeah.
definitely a billionaire.
Yeah,
But I think they keep their lives separate.
but anyways,
yeah.
like what the fuck? What are they going to talk about? Again, if you guys have, if you have any like predictions of what they're going to talk about, just drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll make some predictions. I think that they're going to talk about the magma hat for sure. Trump's going to be like, it's a great hat. It's the best hat that's ever been made. I've never been a part of a better hat than this. And Kanye is going to say something like outrageous that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the conversation going to. I see it more of a facade than anything. It's just kind of
It's a photo shoot.
It's a photo shoot, yeah. Just like if you were to go on any magazine, it's like, look, they shook hands. They must be cool. Well,
What if Kanye just totally trolls him and like flips the script?
trumps them.
Kanye is gonna trump Trump. He's gonna go in there and like light his magma hat on for MAGA or whatever the fuck.
I think
MAGA. He's gonna fucking light his hat on fire and like on the Oval
God.
Office and just be like, "Fuck this." And
Clearly, I need to turn the camera off.
maybe that's Kanye's endgame here. Is he's just
She's just trying to make out with me right now, guys. I don't even know what's going on here.
Tuka. Save some for later, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It's totally gonna be a Trump session.
Is that the end game? And I think it is. Maybe I think we just figured it out. The end game for Kanye is to Trump,
And exploit him for
just figure something
whatever media says he is. There's definitely people that agree and don't agree. That's the case with anything in life.
What if he goes in and then there's a huge twist and Kanye's like, "Yo, me and Trump actually had a threesome with Stormy Daniels and Kim was there too and shit was lit."
Dude, that's a hell of an M. Night Shyamalan right there.
That's
Is
the
he doing
twist.
the broadcast?
What do you? I think,
Is M. Night doing the shoot for
I
it?
don't know. I don't know who's shooting it. We are available, Mr. Trump, President, if you'd like us to cover the luncheon with Mr. West.
Yeah, like I said, we just make up our opinion afterwards, so say
we're
what you will.
available. We can film that for you too.
Don't worry about watching those words.
Fucking A, dude. We got to talk about something other than Kanye. Oh yeah, so it's speaking of fucking mental health issues. Speaking of mental health disasters. What are we going with this? Speaking of
Dude,
mental health
Kanye and
disasters,
Trump
man.
are they are a hell of a storm.
All right, we're getting off the rails here. I hear the puppy fucking with something downstairs.
Distracting
But
the shit
I'm
out of
not
me.
gonna check on it. Anyways, we're getting
Mental
a little-
health,
we're getting
mental
a little
health
off
though.
the
So
rails
we
here.
live in Colorado, and recently they've been toying with mental. Help me out with this, but
I got you. Let me chime in. We're getting
treatments here.
We're getting a little off the rails here. Let me bring it back to reality. So, one of these other articles that we've been constantly reading. That again, thumbnails that
Colorado,
we see.
Pioneer State.
It's in other states too. Anyways, what we're getting at here, they're starting to treat mental health issues or look at treating mental health issues with various psychedelics. I mean, I've seen everything, options from LSD, psilocybin mushrooms, ketamine, ayahuasca, DMT, even MDMA treatment. So all of these hallucinogens are kind of now being experimented with to see, if they have medicinal use. And it turns out, it seemed, again, this is kind of just our opinion because I didn't really read the articles, but it seems like, according to these thumbnails, that they do have some value. They have some value.
I mean, they've been doing experiments with, hallucinogens and stuff since the 60s anyways.
MK Ultra. Yeah.
The acid test.
That's MK Ultra.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that? I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
I was more based. I'm a deadhead, so that's what I get out of that. But like they have had, it's not just like a new thing of like, hey, let's get these people to dose and see what their brain does. They know what it does to their brain. It makes certain receptors fire harder than others.
Well, here's what it
does. And in certain cases, it could help. It could potentially help.
The science behind it is that I know this for LSD and for psilocybin, and I think MDMA as well, is the reason they think it's going to be beneficial, or that they're saying that proving that it is beneficial for treating things like depression and anxiety, is because it essentially it rewires your brains. You have your neurotransmitters are basically like wiped clean and reprogrammed.
Like a full reset, which is often how I feel after any type of one of those treatments I facilitate myself, obviously. I'm not going to no doctor for it.
So, like, if you guys have ever done acid or shrooms, you kind of come out of it feeling, you've got that, like, clear-headed, just, like, feeling of relief, and you just feel, like, clear-headed and kind of focused.
Yeah, just realign
and
instead of your normal
that's because
bullshit.
Your neurotransmitters have basically been, like, realigned, if you will. Or
Reset.
Reset is the word that these articles are using.
That makes sense.
I think that's pretty cool. I think it's gnarly that people just get like tossed on Prozac for life, and it has insane side effects.
If you were to get off of it, any of those antidepressants. By the way, if that's the way you want to go, good for you. But
yeah, I'm not.
I would rather not have to rely on something like that for the rest of my life. A good once a year trip is.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not like trashing antidepressants. Obviously,
some people need them.
They work for some people, or they wouldn't exist. But I just think it's cool that in this day and age that they're looking into alternative medicines. I still hear that puppy fucking around downstairs.
Yeah, and from what I personal use and experience, like, things are addictive. People have different personalities. I don't think it could cause an addiction problem. Where somebody's just lost in reality all the time.
Well, there's a couple things that can happen. It's definitely not addictive. Anyone who has done it can tell you that, because you never trip and be like, I want to do that again.
Yeah, all week.
Like
I'm not stuck in there.
There's those fucking maniacs who do that. I mean, it probably does. It could be addictive to certain people, but I think for most
the majority
people, you have some sort of psychedelic experience. You're like, okay, I'm that was cool. I'm good on that for a while. So it definitely doesn't seem like it would be very addictive. I mean, I don't know what it's scheduled as, but it's obviously not.
It's definitely a federal offense.
It's not up there with like meth and shit in the addiction scale, as we all know.
Yeah, and with the huge detrimental side effects of losing your teeth and fucking robbing people.
Right. Yeah. I just imagine, like, I mean, I wonder what the experience is like. I know a little bit. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh man, dude, the hurricane party getting the best of this guy over here.
So, anyways, I know a little bit about the ketamine infusions. It's just like you go into a doctor's office, they lay you back, they give you an IV of ketamine. I even looked it up. You can do it down in Denver.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
No, this is real.
What are they trying to do with the ketamine based one? I mean,
it's really
from my experience with it, it's not anything that I really ever want to do more than once, and I've only done it once.
It's a dissociative. I don't know if that's true. I think I made that up. but it might be dissociative.
It's all right. We're done.
Somebody check me on that. Anyways, it does something similar like those other hallucinogens. People who get the treatments I know are people with like PTSD or any sort of like past trauma, which also causes anxiety and depression.
Right.
And it's supposed to just really be like a kind of like a resetting feeling, is what I hear about the ketamine infusions. I actually might check
Just
one
kind of
out.
blocks it out, like makes itself like a blocker, kind of like you don't focus on it, so it takes a little bit for it to creep back in.
Tuka, why don't you get down? This is too much. Tuka, get down, please. Tuka, please get down.
He's a good dad, all right.
Thank
You know,
you.
we don't have to tell her to do this very
There's
often.
rules in this house.
Yeah.
There's rules.
She knows, and she's sitting over there like, come on, you loved it.
She'll take advantage.
Yeah.
But
She
yeah,
knows.
man, I've considered, you know, I'm a candidate for it. I have some crazy mental health shit that I deal with. And I've considered trying a ketamine infusion done in Denver. Maybe we could give that a try and then talk
Really,
about it on the
really
podcast.
broadcast about it, because that's one I'm
Yeah.
interested about. Just because,
I
like,
think it's like
I did have a negative experience. Like, it didn't really do much for me. I feel like I just got the negatives out of it, which, you know, for some people it may not do that, but like I feel like that's what it did for me.
I had two ketamine experiences. One was awful. I was in actually both were in college, but one was at this like house party that just turned into the most like disgusting like picture like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but like all white kids with dreadlocks at a house party, and in Steamboat. And there was like all these drugs I've never heard of, and everybody was on all sorts of shit. And I was a naive young man, so I was just like, sure, I'll try all of this. And
All of it. Just get it.
yeah,
Bring
yeah,
it in, guys.
like all of it. It was like sassafras.
That shit's good. One of my best
and
experiences.
which I had never done before. It was acid, which I had never done before. I was drinking a bunch of vodka, and then some kid busted out this like powdery substance. And it was ketamine, I guess. And he gave me a lot, and I had a pretty bad experience.
K-hole.
I ended up in this chick's bedroom wearing a bathrobe, and then get this. So I'm in this chick's bedroom, like on the floor. Oops, I guess I put her bathrobe on to get comfy, and I found these Smarties that were on a plate. So I just started eating them, and it turns out they had dropped acid on all the Smarties. So each Smartie was a hit of acid. So I was already on all sorts of shit and drunk, and then I ate like 6 more hits of acid or something like that by accident. And holy shit, I woke up.
Interesting
the
24
next-
hours, I would assume.
The ketamine kind of just knocked me out. But then I actually went home and went to sleep. Weirdest thing, went home, didn't feel well. I think I ate a frozen pizza and went to sleep. Freshetta, actually, I remember.
It was a
It was a
freshetta.
Freshetta, I remember. Shout out Freshetta, sponsor us, please. But yeah, I ate a Freshetta. I passed out, and I actually woke up the next morning, and I was like, "Oh, I'm good. Like, I'm all right." And then I
Silly you.
lived in my bedroom at the time was downstairs, not many windows. I walk upstairs and just like open the front door to look outside, and the clouds were just like, whoop, 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 whoop. I closed the door. I was like, "Not good.
Nope.
Not good. We're not good here. Things have gone awry."
There's a fly
that
in the
was-
ointment.
That was my first ketamine experience. It was pretty fucking negative. But my second one was really positive. It was up on Buffalo Pass at a party, just like, you know, outdoor bonfire party. We used to have some sweet bonfire parties up here in the forest. And I just did like a little tiny bit, like a little key bump. And I laid down in the back of a pickup truck, and someone started lighting off fireworks. And I don't know.
Legitimate fireworks, or you were seeing them?
No, good fireworks. Someone was there. Someone actually like lit off some fireworks.
Okay.
Because we were up in the forest, and no, I don't know. I think I just did the right amount, like just a very small amount to be like, well, I just like feel really relaxed. It's pretty out of it, but like.
You were
I could
there.
still talk and like. walk
Normal
and function.
faculties just diminished a little bit, as any partying
that
does.
positive experience, the second time using it recreationally, I think was enough for me to be interested to try a ketamine infusion in a professional setting where they like kind of, I don't know, I think there's like a little bit of a therapy aspect to it, and then they just give you a little injection and you like zonk out for half an hour or whatever, and then
Just a
10 minutes.
controlled, like,
Yeah, it's
down
all
and then
under
the back.
control. Your like heart rate's monitored and everything, so you know you're in a safe place. Like it's obviously gonna be way safer than like getting it from a stranger. You know exactly what it is.
Speaking of, if you're ever going to do any of these things, which we do not condone, even though we have all tried, make sure you know where the fuck you're getting it from, because you can have terrible experiences.
And I
That's not even a joke. That's a real life thing. Like, you should always know.
And I just want to put it on record. I'll tell a lot of stories about doing drugs, but I don't do any drugs anymore. I just drink beer and smoke weed, but I have a lot of fucking crazy drug stories because I used to be a maniac. But I've since made some life changes to prolong my life and my health. So
it was a good choice.
You'll definitely hear some stories out of me, but just know that I don't live that way anymore. This is about as extreme as we get.
Yeah, might as well, talking about the ketamine, which is something that we're not really versed in anyways, but as far as shrooms and LSD go.
A little more versed in that, for sure.
Recently, I actually did, I had a great experience. I went to a reggae concert in town. I'm sure you were there. Stephen Marley.
Oh, yeah, no, I was out of town.
Okay.
I remember when he played. Well,
this is where mushrooms can really get the best of you in some cases.
Was it mushrooms or acid? You said acid.
I just meant we were talking about. I want to talk about mushrooms and acid.
Oh, okay.
Because this is what we're more versed in. Well, I took some mushrooms. All right. Haven't seen any mushrooms, or really had them around in a couple of years. I haven't really seen them. Good buddy of mine actually had some. I was obliged to eat them, reluctant, if you will. And was at the show. It was an awesome fucking show. He was hitting the bass hard, and you could tell that he was stoned as fuck as well, because, it's Colorado. What musician comes here and doesn't fucking smoke? I, on the other hand, did not have any weed on me, which was the problem.
That is a problem.
So I was way up there. I'd probably taken about an eighth of shrooms. I only made it about an hour in before I had to leave.
That's like a common thing on mushrooms, is you always reach a point where it's just, I gotta go.
I was too socially awkward. I couldn't do it. I was socially awkward.
I'm not saying you, I'm saying everyone.
Absolutely.
Anyone who has done mushrooms has had that moment at least once where you're just like, gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here. I don't know why, but I gotta get the fuck out of here.
And with mushrooms, always just go with it, man. Whatever it wants to do, just fucking do it.
You gotta go with your gut. Absolutely.
Like, just remember, it's the drug doing it, not you. But yeah, so I left within an hour. Went and sat on a park bench for about an hour. It was beautiful. Then I walked home barefoot on the bike path. One of the best trips, most therapeutic, calm, and relaxing things ever. Just walking barefoot on the bike path, which was a first for me, and I've lived out here for like 8 years.
I gotta ask, what happened to your shoes?
I carried them.
So you
I
had
didn't
shoes. You were just like, I'm gonna carry these.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. Like I wanted that like touching surface.
No, totally. I actually had a very similar LSD experience where I was up camping, and I was just like, it felt really like connected to the earth to just be like barefoot. I mean, there's definitely something to be said there, about the
connection you feel with your surroundings.
Yeah,
I couldn't stay where I was, but I found somewhere where I was just as comfortable, and I could still hear the music. That was the best part. Sat on a park bench. I was only like, a couple hundred yards from actually the venue that they were playing at, and
so you still hear
it was beautiful, and it's all music that I love, and I know, like, I just wanted to experience it by myself. That was phenomenal.
These beers, it's by Deschutes Brewery. They're out of, I think, Bend, Oregon. Yeah, really good beer, fresh squeezed IPA, but it gives you the burps like crazy, or at least it's giving them to me. 6.4% alcohol, 60 IBU. Super tasty beer, actually. Highly recommend it. Definitely check it out if you can find it.
I'm a true PBR fan, but, this is actually an IPA that I enjoy. It doesn't have that, like, rich hop taste where it's, like, fucking with your taste buds.
It's not too bitter. Yeah, it's good. Definitely one I like. Deschutes Brewery. Sponsor us. Shout out.
Yeah, guys, if you guys have any acid and mushroom stories, we would love to hear them and expand upon them.
Yeah, chime on in.
There's
on
probably
the
a million
stories.
things that we could
in the comments, and if someone has like a great story, we can talk about it on one of our other podcasts.
Maybe even tell you how we've had a similar experience.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we're just chilling now. I think it's time to just continue the hurricane party and check back in with you guys later. What do you think?
Yeah. Comment, share, subscribe to us. We are on YouTube. The Fauqs Goin On.
The fuck is going on? Check us out. I gotta go see what my puppy has been doing downstairs. He is messing around with something, so let's find out.
That's right. Carter 3, come on. Yeah. Walk with me, come go with